Iisa at nakatatak ang kauna-unahang himpilan sa paghahatid ng serbisyo publiko at balita. Ito ang Radio Mindanao Networks. 7 dekada sa paglilingkod sa masang Pilipino sa Metro Manila. Ito ang DZXL Radyo Trabaho 558 kHz, ang inyong gabay sa hanap buhay. Ang bawat pananaw at opinyon ng susunod na programa ay hindi sumasalamin sa pananaw at opinyon ng DZXL 558 Radyo Trabaho RMN Networks at ng management. Narito na ang Ipa-Rush Kay Paras sa RMN DZXL 558. Abogado at malawak ang kaalaman sa gobyerno. Dating mayor at congressman, siya'y kakampi ng inaapi. Handang tumulong sa mamamayan anumang oras at kahit saan. Nandito na si Secretary Jing Paras sa programa sa radyo. Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Mabilis na aksyon sa hinaing ng taong bayan. Kasama sina Pia Morato, Tito Potato, Ricky Rivera at Eli Saludar. Ipa-Rush Kay Paras.
Diyan kasi sa Comelec, malinis yung mga nagpapatakbo. Now, wala bang bahid? Pero kung may nakikita tayong bahid, ang bawat mamamayan maninindigan dapat.
Sir, how are you, sir?
Yes, sir. Sir Louis.
Ito si Jing Paras.
May isang tao pagtulong ang tanging hangad. Pagmamahal sa kapwa siya'y bukas palad. Busilak kanyang puso para sa karamihan. Ika'y pagtatanggol at hindi pababayaan. Siya'y mabilis na aaksyon para sa'yo. Basta't ikaw ay nasa tama, di ka madedehado. Kalaban ng mali na hindi niya papayagan. Yan si Secretary Jing Paras ang ating kaibigan. Tagapagtanggol ng naaapi, abogado natin at kakampi. Siya si Secretary Jing Paras. Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Basta ikaw ay nasa tama, ika'y kanyang ipaglalaban. Totoong tao, mapagkakatiwalaan. Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Ang nais lamang niya ay makatulong sa lahat. Malasakit na tunay na karapat-dapat sa tao na hindi makatwirang katarungan. Biktima ng korupsyon ay kanyang ipaglalaban. Prangkang tao na wala paligoy-ligoy. Kapag siya nagsalita, umatras ka na boy. Totoong tao, mapagkakatiwalaan. Tunay na kaibigan na hindi ka iiwanan. Tagapagtanggol ng naaapi, abogado natin at kakampi. Siya si Secretary Jing Paras. Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Basta ikaw ay nasa tama, ika'y kanyang ipaglalaban. Totoong tao, mapagkakatiwalaan. Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Tagapagtanggol ng naaapi, abogado natin at kakampi. Siya si Secretary Jing Paras.
Pero sa halip ng ito lahat,
Ipa-Rush
ay
Kay Paras. Basta
mayroon
ikaw
namang
ay
isang
nasa
mabuting
tama,
tao.
ika'y kanyang ipaglalaban. Totoong tao, mapagkakatiwalaan. Ipa-Rush Kay Paras.
Ipa-Rush Kay Paras.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ito po ang Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. And in behalf of Secretary Jing Paras and Radyoman Eli Saludar, ito po inyong lingkod, Ado Paglinawan, ang maestro na nagpupugay sa inyo ng isang magandang hapon. At sana naman ay maluwalhati tayo nakapangnanghalian. At kami naman dito sa DZXL ay naghatid sa inyo ng mga napakagandang balita, except that ang mga survey po ay nagpapakita ng hindi masyadong magandang litrato ng ating ekonomiya. At tuwi pong Biyernes, pag ako po'y nag-iisa, ang pinangako ko sa inyo ay tayo gagawa ng mga editorial sa mga issues na tinalakay natin itong nakaraang linggo. Well, anyway, ang tinatawag pong misery index, ito po ang panuntunan ng mga taong sa kanilang paningin ay hindi maganda ang katayuan ng kanilang buhay, ay halos nagdoble po from 2021, from 6.6 to 2023, same period, 11.9. So kung ito po ay ating susumahin, nag-increase po ito from 7 to 12. At kumbaga pinopompyang lang natin ang second, no, na highest misery index nung panahon ni Gloria Macapagal Arroyo nung 2008, at ang pinakamataas po ay nung panahon ni Joseph Estrada nung 1998. So tayo po ay 11.9, 0.1 lower lamang nung kay GMA na 12% nung 2008, dahil po yan sa global financial crisis noong 2008 at yung global financial crisis din noong 1998 sa 13.1%. So we are in recent history on our third highest, no? At ito po ay 5% higher, no? Or rather 4% higher than Indonesia and 6% higher than Vietnam. Ayan, at ang pinatutungkulan po ngayon ay mga sanhi nito ay ang inflation, ang pagtaas po ng mga bilihin na noong January 2023 ay nagsimula sa 8.7%, pero last month po ay bumaba na sa 6.1%, mataas pa rin. At saka ang pangalawang factor po ay forced unemployment, dahil po dun sa mga nawalan ng trabaho during the COVID-19 pandemic. Ayan mga kabansa, no? At ang pagtaas naman na nakaapekto sa agrikultura, yung pagtaas ng petrolyo, also 20% ang naging factor ng pagtaas ng mga crops, at sa livestock naman po ay napakalaki, 50%. Ayan. Ito po ay mataas dahil nung panahon ni Duterte noong 2019, ang misery index niya napakababa, 2.2. Noong 2020, 2.5. At noong 2021, 3.4. Kung matatandaan ninyo, mga kabansa, ay ang plataforma ni Duterte was really for the people to live comfortably. And even during the pandemic, it was only between 2.5 to 3.4. So yan po mga kabansa, after 1 year ng Bongbong administration, ay hindi natin malaman kung bong ang ating tatakbuhan dito, dahil mataas po masyado ang 12%. So lahat ng tao ay naghihintay kung ano ang kanyang mga plano na naman for the next year, dahil dito pong last Monday ba yan ng July ay magkakaroon po ng State of the Nation address. Okay, so much for that, the condition of our economy. Ang isa po sa mga issues na tinalakay namin ni Secretary Paras nitong linggong ito ay itong nangyari sa ating tourism department. no? Dahil po in a seemingly emotional banter, Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia warned critics of her daughter, Tourism Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco, not to cross their family. Nako, medyo nagkakainitan na ulo, no? At the sidelines of a recent events in Medellin, Cebu, Garcia said the entire province supports her daughter. Quote, total support, and in one united island of Cebu, suportado si Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco. Uulitin ko, sabi niya, don't mess with us, babang. Ayan, she said, no? Actually po, si Frasco has been drawing flack, alam niyo na siguro, for rebranding the country's tourism slogan to Love the Philippines, no? At ito ay nag-generate ng negative publicity after it was discovered that the theme was plagiarized, no? Kinopya, no? Ninakaw. And the campaign's launching video pirated stock footage of tourist spots overseas. Ayan. Naku, nakakalungkot. What was bad enough was the Love the Philippines video turned out to be loaded with pirated or mga lifted footages of rice terraces from Indonesia, a silhouette of a fisherman casting a net from Thailand, mga kabansa, an airport runway in Switzerland, jumping dolphins from an unspecified location, and sand dunes from Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. There were many more, pero marami na masyadong detalya. Worse, it was Frasco herself who allowed the DOT to release the video to the general public. And worst, she did not apologize at nag-appear pa siyang evasive in accepting responsibility. So, ang tanong, bakit pinagpiestahan siya ng mga netizens? Ang sagot po dito ay mababasa nyo sa aking column sa AsianCenturyPH.com. AsianCenturyPH.com. Ang title po ay Don't Mess with Citizens, Gwen. It's the DFA that's demolishing your baby. Balik tayo dito sa Love the Philippines, no? Hindi pala ito original, mga kabansa. It was taken from Love Cyprus, ang Cyprian State Department of Tourism that launched in 2021, no? Cyprus po ang third largest island of the Mediterranean, no? It has an authentic historical narrative backing up its transition from the sun and sea touristic brand niya for 17 years, Cyprus in your heart. Slogan introduced noong 2006. Pero in 2021, after 15 years, ito ay pinaltan sa Love Cyprus. A new logo inheriting only the heart symbol but positioning the island known to belong to Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and beauty. Ayan. Napaka-romantic pala ng background yan. Yang collection po na yan has been established over many centuries. No? Hindi itong biglang Love the Philippines, bulaga na lang tayo. According to archaeologist Jacqueline Karageorgis, when the Achaean Greeks arrived in the 12th century before Christ, no? The local population was worshipping a fertility goddess with oriental characteristics. The Greeks ay Hinellenize po, no, ng mga Grego yang worship na yan over centuries, fully identifying Aphrodite by the 4th century before Christ, with Paphos emerging as the principal place to worship her. Ngayon, ano naging shift dyan? No? Before, sila, ang sinasabi lang nila that they were just sun and sea. Pero dito sa bago nilang Love the Philippines, binibuild up na nila in a more openly, deliberately, and thoroughly into an island that offers a lot of authentic experiences. At sangayon sa kanilang Deputy Minister of Tourism na si Sabas Perdios, we want to show the world what tourists can discover more as Cyprus unites the identity of the Mediterranean and offers an amazing diversity of cultures, ethnic groups, and people. Kasi in the final analysis, mga kabansada, ang nag-a-attract sa turista ay people, places, and events, no? Tumutulong lang itong mga tema at saka mga slogans, no? Ika nga. Meron pong website, ang Love Cyprus. Hanapin nyo na lang, www.lovecyprus.com. That's CY. Ibig sabihin, country, CY. Ako po ay nag-practice ng advertising and promotion for 16 years from the agency and the client side. Bago ako na-headhunt into the diplomatic corps. So nakikita ko in contrast that Love the Philippines is a far shot from It's More Fun in the Philippines or Wow Philippines before it. Ang rationale po ay mababaw. The translation is malabo and it is too far na hakbang. And digging deeper into the DOT suggested narrative giving flesh to Love the Philippines, hindi naman napakahirap na i-discern that it was not just a copycat concept, but its roadmap and applications were also copycat of the Cyprus experience. Well, so much for that. So much for that. Ang tanong dito, ang sinasabi ng mga taga-DOT ay para daw merong political motive behind this. Ang problema ho dito, nung ito ay exposed ni Sas Rogando Sasso, foreign-based Filipino scholar, siya po naging whistleblower dito, the issue is not political. The issue is really a problem of process. Inside DDB, yung agency, inside DOT, yung kliyente, and of course, the inter-processes that connects the processes. Ayan. Kaya the more they project it as a political issue, the more the public, sabi niya, will be suspicious. No? Will be suspicious. Dahil ito, ang real issue dito is just administrative. No? Yung video nandoon na. And DOT was actually the one who publicized this video. And if there is someone who is actually doing a demolition job, di sila. Sila na nag-uusap dyan. Eh. Wala naman iba nakikialam. O baka namang meron nakikialam. Ha? So, according to Sasot, this is just about someone failing to do his job correctly. However, reports pervading in social media, mga kabansa, point the finger at forces more powerful than the Secretary of Tourism that created this whole mess. It appears that Paul Soriano, the President's ₱1 a year presidential advisor for creative communications, at ang kanyang tiyahin na sa First Lady Lisa Araneta, became suddenly involved after the agency Doyle, Dale, and Bernbach presented their storyboard. Isa pong report sa Reddit ang nagsabi, quote, DDB presented a storyboard. When the advertising agency's presentation was approved, Paul Soriano suddenly got involved and said he had a production house that he wanted to use. Ang nangyari dito, yung DDB Creative Director and Paul nag-away po about creative directions. So another creative director was asked to replace and take over. But too late. It turns out the DOT, Paul Soriano, had already shot and edited the material without the agency. So ayan mga kabansa. So sabi nitong Reddit, hindi raw fault ng agency. And that the creative director, no, the creative advisor of the president should take responsibility for the issue. Doon po nagkakaroon ng kulay. The Department of Tourism so far has dropped the advertising agency behind the campaign, DDB Philippines, as a result of the controversy, but Frasco did not apologize for the fiasco. Ayan ang problema. No? So ayan, di ko na babasahin yung kanilang pag-fire ng DDB. But I consider this another fatal error because the advertising agency of the credentials of DDB, mga kabansa, this is an international outfit. At least likely to commit ito ng infraction against the industry's time-honored code of truth in advertising. Ayan, kaya nagkakaroon ng dumami ang mga Marites at Marisol dahil dito eh. Netizens have also pointed out that the location shooting was already scheduled but was waived by Soriano because he had already produced the video. Ay, sos, Marosep. To put it bluntly, hindi po ako naniniwala that social media, no? In fairness, Governor Gwen is after your daughter here. But social media wanted to know the exact participation of Paul Soriano, who most likely botched the material. They wanted to find out what the exact participation of the president's wife, besides protecting, no, and patronizing Soriano, was. Unfortunately for Frasco, Mrs. Araneta Marcos has been maligned with reports since the president took his oath of office, starting from deciding on presidential appointments, dispensing patronage among relatives and cronies, and links with scandals involving public funds. In a recent Kalye survey by Maluti Kia's outfit, there were suggestions to give the First Lady an actual government position so that she can be held accountable for her actions. So offering DDB as a scapegoat will not serve as a Bixby Vaporub, a balm, no, for the gravity of the management failure and negligence involved, because it reeks of a cover-up. That the agency has not been paid is another diversion para mawala ang isip ng tao na nagkaroon ng korupsyon. Eh hindi rin ito magwawash. Alam niyo kung bakit? Because had it not been for the plagiarism being blown up in public, 49 million would have already changed hands. At this point, an apology from Frasco has outlived its usefulness, mga kabansa. No? Netizens want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Her omerta has led her to being called a coward for not revealing the real persons who bungled conceptualizing the campaign and producing its introductory video that has now been ridiculed around the world, not only by tourism organizations, by country governments, but mass media. Yan po ang problema. Nakakahiya ang Pilipinas. Napahiya. Well, as this developed, DOT confirmed that Prasco will go on a family leave for 7 working days. Ayan. Pero alam niyo mga kabansa, sa punto de vista ko, who is messing who? Kasi hindi naman diniretso ni Governor Garcia eh. Pero papakita ko sa inyo, Governor, who is messing who? Ha? So kung interesado kayo kung sino nagdidemolish sa inyong anak, sasabihin ko sa inyo, diretsahan. Ito po ang sitwasyon. 2 million Chinese tourists will not make it to the Philippines this year, not because of mga problema ng anak ninyo dito sa video na ito, but of the fiasco that is happening real time in Enrique Manalo's foreign affairs. Andyan ho ang nananabotahe sa anak nyo. Data from the tourism department showed 2.8 million international travelers arrived in the Philippines from January to almost the end of June 2023. And of course, 92% nito are international arrivals, no? Or 2.6 million. Yung 8% are Philippine passport holders, mostly OFWs, no? The international arrivals for the period was 69% of the 4.3 million international arrivals in the first half of 2019. Pag kinumpara, mababa doon by 30% ang rate of arrivals when compared to 2019. This was the period being used prior to the pandemic. Bakit? The same data showed that South Korea continued to lead as top source market for international tourists at 700,000. I-round off ko na lang po. United States at second at 500,000, Australia at 140,000, Japan at 135, and Canada at 126. Ito po ang glaring dito. Tourists from China accounted for 120,000, followed by 100,000 from Taiwan. The UK at 80,000, Singapore 80,000, and Malaysia at 50,000. Ma'am Gwen, do you see anything alarming about these statistics? What happened to the Chinese tourists? China was supposed to be the second top source market for tourists in the Philippines prior to the pandemic. It broke 1.8 million mark in 2019. And China has already reopened its borders nung pabang Enero this year. So, ang inyong pong anak ay sumulat kay Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo, June 8. At ito ang kanya sinabi. This is to respectfully reiterate the Department of Tourism's urgent appeal for the Department of Foreign Affairs to lift the published daily quota, issuing only 100 visas per day per Philippine Foreign Service post in China. She added, while we understand from the initial reply conveyed to the DOT by DFA Assistant Secretary Henry Bensurto, dated March 30, 2023, there are instances where consular posts issue 200 to 250 visas a day. Pero ito pong rate na ito is nominal because to be able to hit Frasco's target of 2 million tourists from China this year, our consulates must collectively be issuing almost 8,000 visas a day. Hindi itong 200 to 250. 7,962, almost 8,000 for 260 working days in a year. At the present rate, visa issuance are happening by the DFA in China only 240,000 tourists, wala pang kalahating milyon ang darating po sa Pilipinas this year. Ano ibig sabihin nito? This means that first, your daughter's goal will not be achieved, no? Because 1.8 million Chinese will not arrive. This would also mean a loss of about 2 billion US dollars. Billion. Or 120 billion Philippine pesos in revenues. And because 2 jobs are created for every 1 foreign tourist, a loss of 3.5 million local jobs will happen. Kailangan pa naman natin ito. I thought our country was in the verge of a total collapse according to kagalang-galang Ben Jokno. Mr. Jokno, Mr. Balisakan, tulong dito. Mukhang you're not coordinating with the other members of the cabinet. And of course, President Bongbong Marcos, bukod sa agrikultura, nasasabutahe pa ito. It appears that Manalo and Bensurto, in utter incompetence and inefficiency, are only standing by waiting for the electronic visa system that they were planning for China, but have not fielded additional consular personnel, tao, to accommodate the demand for visas. Ang dami yung tao sa Amerika. Ilan ang konsulado nyo sa Amerika? Hindi naman magpapadala ng 1 milyon turista dito ang Amerika. Pinakamarami na dyan siguro 800,000 a year. Hindi nyo ilipat sa China yung mga yan? It does not take rocket science to solve this red tape. Lalo na't pinopromote tayo ng China government to be one of the top 10 destinations for its people, mga kabansa. And itong gridlock na ito has also postponed for weeks and maybe months issuance of visas for legitimate Chinese investors. Na-achieve na natin ito noong 2019. Ay namatay lang itong si Chito Santarumana na napakagaling na ambassador who worked hammer and tongs rallying his consulates to work extended hours to service visa requirements. Nagkakandapuyat na daw po sila. Pero sige lang. And they were able to achieve 1.8 million for 2019. Walang excuse why we cannot do it again and exceed that record. May panahon pa. Pero, lagyan nyo ng asupre mga puwet ninyo dyan sa foreign affairs. Nakakahiya kayo. I used to work for that agency pa naman. Yeah. Up to 1993. Hindi mangyayari ito nung panahon namin. At saka the last time I checked on the replacement doon na ambassador natin, si Jaime Flor Cruz, ay busy po siya organizing a small biking event up to the Great Wall at Juyongguan, celebrating our Independence Day last June 12. Paano ito makakapromote ng visa? Secretary Frasco sounded helpless. She even suggested in her letter that the personal appearance of individual visa applicants should be waived. I-waive na if their papers are coursed through accredited travel agents. Because ang mga accredited travel agents po sa China are more guarded than our travel agents here. As well as online payment system for visa applications. Ma'am, I'm just wondering, is this a deliberate effort to sabotage Chinese arrivals in the Philippines para mapahiya ang inyong anak at the end of the year na hindi niya dramatically ma-achieve ang kanyang goal of 8 million tourists, 2 million of which will come from China? Bubulungan ko kayo. Gob, Gob, itong si Manalo, si Bensurto at itong si Flor Cruz, may bumulong sa aking Marites. Ay mga American boys daw ito. Baka nahahawa na ito sa politika sa South China Seas, Ay, tingnan po ninyo, kalampagin ninyo. Diyan nyo gamitin ang inyong kapangyarihan being a very influential governor of Cebu City. This is where your daughter needs the support. Huwag nyo nang pansinin yung mga netizens na yan. Dito na tayo sa business. No? Dito na tayo sa pagtatalaga at pag-expedite ng tourist arrivals. No? Huwag na makinig kung ano pa mga ang daming ang dami na nga. Diyos ko, misery, nagdoble na, misery index. Puro mga kung ano pa, mga red tape ang mga nauna. Bakit maghilig natin dito? Pagdating naman sa legalismo, eto naman ang Philippine Coast Guard. Dahil mag-anniversary itong 7th year anniversary itong much ballyhooed 2016 arbitral ruling noong July 12. And noong June 30 po, pumaimbulog, it appeared na nagkaroon ng isang phantom resupply mission to Ayungin Shoal in a runoff to celebrate the anniversary. As usual, ginagawa nila ito na fishing expedition for another encounter with Chinese Coast Guard without prior coordination with the Department of Foreign Affairs, ayan na naman ang DFA, and the China Embassy. Kasi usapan dito nung panahon ni Duterte ay magkakaroon na ng bilateral mechanism to address this. So on June 30, itong BRP Malabrigo at Malapascua ay nag-escort ng isang small boat papunta sa BRP Sierra Madre, yung pumbulok nating Philippine Navy ship na nakabalahura doon sa sa Ayungin Shoal or the Second Thomas Shoal. When they reported an armada, of Chinese Coast Guard militia. Wow! Paano nila nalamang militia ito? I'm just curious. At sino nagre-report? A former United States Air Force official, Raymond Powell, a fellow at the Gordian Knot Center for National Security Innovation. Anak ng pating. Bago na naman think tank ito. Dumami ho ang think tank sa Amerika kasi nagpasa ang Amerika ng America Competes Act appropriating $500 million to demonize China. So magandang yan. Kaya buhay na buhay ngayon yung mga fact checkers natin Pati ang yung isang kabilang parlor, munti ko na ma-mention ang pangalan ng istasyon. ay nawala sa YouTube. Mga bansa. So ito, basahin ko lang Ito pong Gordian Knot Center bills itself according to its credentials sa internet as a hacker for defense to meet the challenges posed by a new era of great power competition. Very heavy words. And transnational security challenges. Preparing America, ayon ang suma total. Preparing an America and its partners and allies to compete in an uncertain future. The Philippine ships allegedly accompanying a small vessel deliberately forays into a position that a Chinese Coast Guard is located. One of them takes a picture of the other with the bow approaching the starboard side of the stationary Chinese ship. Pinapakita, making it appear, mga kabansa, that the large Chinese ship was quote-unquote, blocking the way of the Philippine ship. Pero hindi naman dahil stationary yung Chinese ship sa video eh. Stationary. Pero tinutok pa rin, mga kabansa, for a selfie yung isang barkong Pilipino, yung bow niya, yung dulo yung uso niya, itinutok pa rin doon sa stationary Chinese ship to make it appear na binablock ng Chinese ship yung Philippine Navy ship. Ito po ay napakalaki kabalintunan. First, in a series of tweets, Powell, itong mismo nag-report using satellite, said that the 2 Chinese Coast Guard vessel and 7 militia ships, na-identify niya from satellite na militia ships ito, mga fishing boats ito, were in a position to interdict. Ayan. The resupply mission in Ayungin Shoal. Sa totoo lang po, there is no allegation of any interdiction. It was just in a position to interdict. Second, the Philippine ships continued on to their resupply mission. In other words, nag-detour and were able to complete it. In short, there should have been no issue whatsoever. In fact, the PCG official spokesman, Rear Admiral Armand Balilo, said, I have no information about it. PCG officer in charge po of information yan eh. But he was not informed before, during, and after the incident. Ang humarap po ay itong si J. Tariela, so-called ad hoc advisor ni Commandant Admiral Artemio Abu, and obvious sa kanyang body English, he was so uncomfortable because he knew very little about the situation at inuulit lang niya sa mga question ng media kung ano yung report ni Powell at meron siyang hawak na picture showing a sketchy picture of an alleged incident. Ayan. Meanwhile, what appeared as a coordinated effort, ayan mga kabansa, Tada! Yan na. The American Echo Chamber went to work. Nauna si Carlson. Anong sabi niya? Ito yung US Ambassador sa Pilipinas. Irresponsible behavior daw ng China. Nakapark doon yung ship ng China. Irresponsible doon. Dangerous maneuvers. Wow. Wala namang nag-interdict. Sinuportahan pa ni U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. China's vessels attempted blockade, a coercive and risky operational behavior. Sir, wala pong blockade. Tinawagan pa si Gilbert Teodoro at ini-invoke yung 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. Sinabi kay Teodoro na pagkaya may nangyari sa mga barko nyo dyan, we have your back, man. So, ayan, mga kabansa. Very quick ang reaksyon ng China. And this time, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs ng China accused the Philippines of trespassing on Chinese territory. Ayan. The Philippine Coast Guard vessels intruded into the waters of Rinay Reef, yun mo tawag nila sa Ayungin, without Chinese permission. Alam niyo mga kabansa, ito ang sinasabi ko eh. China and the Philippines have conflicting claims on this feature. No? Ayan sinasabi ko. 3 pang senador, dalhin daw sa United Nations General Assembly. Ewan ko kung alam nila sinasabi nila. So, since kalukuhan lang yan, hindi na ako magkomento dyan. For the meantime, in a joint statement, 16 countries, Belgium, Czech Republic, Denmark, Germany, Ireland, Greece, Spain, France, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Australia, Romania, Slovakia, Finland, and Sweden announced their report for the 2016 arbitral ruling. What about the 100 more members of the United Nations? 16 lang ito. Ha? At saka lahat ito alyansa pa ng Amerika. Ha? Dagdag nyo na rito ang Japan. At Australia. Ha? Baka hahabol pa. Pero ano sinabi nitong EU, European Union? Medyo nagkabalintod yata. In their statement, however, binding upon the parties to those proceedings a useful basis for peacefully resolving disputes between parties. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Ay ibig sabihin ho niyan, effective lang yan doon sa mga nag-participate sa 2016 arbitral ruling. Sino ba nag-participate? Di Pilipinas lang. Kung minsan itong mga to na nakakatawa Tapos sinuportahan pa ng European Union yung Code of Conduct between ASEAN and China. Pero kailangan daw, ang kanilang proviso, respect the rights of third parties. Ibig sabihin, sali sila. Wala naman silang pakialam dito They're not a claimant. They're not even part of ASEAN. And manggugulang lang sila. Ang tanong mga kabansa, ano ba paiirali natin dito sa South China Sea? Itong mga legalismo, itong mga propaganda, itong mga so-called projection na kunwari nag-aaway, nagigirya, nambubuli, itong mga marites ng mga Amerikano at marisolsol, ng mga kaalyado nila. Diyan ba tayo? Diyan ba tayo? Naghihintay lang ho ang Amerika dyan na may magkabungguan dyan At sana naman maging Philippine ship, no? Carrying a Philippine flag. Either a white ship, PCG, o gray ship na Philippine Navy. At kung yan ay mangyari, papasok na ang Amerika, i-invoke na nila EDCA at atake na sila sa China. Di gera, yan ho ba ang gusto ninyo? At pag naggera, yan hong siyam na mga base militar ngayon ng EDCA, hindi ko lang alam sa inyo, no? Ako'y lumalayo sa mga lugar na yan. Baka ho kayo mauna, no? Pagdarasal na lang namin kayo kung anong babagsak dyan sa inyong mga kukote dyan. So, yan ho ba ang ating direksyon sa buhay? Sadlak sa gera katulad na nangyari sa Ukraine na ngayong halos 20 million ang kanilang mga populasyon ay mga refugees sa ibang bansa. Saan tayo magre-refugee? Tayo archipelago, mga kabansa. Saan tayo pupunta? Kung yung Ukraine maulit dito sa Pilipinas. Yan ba gusto nyo? Mga kabansa, nakikinig ngayon? Palagay ko naman na hindi. So, ano ang ating gusto? Na gamitin ang mga di pagkakano, saan ba nare-resolve ang mga di pagkakaunawaan sa labas ng gera? Di ba sa pag-uusap ng maluwat? Bakit hindi natin, ano na ang estado ng bilateral negotiations natin? With Russia, tungkol doon sa matipid na krudo at langis. Kung ang Japan kalyado ng Amerika, kumukuha sa Russia ng krudo. Dahil mura. Bakit? Why? Panahon pa yan ng Duterte, baitang nga ngayon, Department of Energy, bakit hindi tayo makakuha dyan? Yan ba unahin natin? Department of Energy, another score para sa iyo. Ano na nangyari dyan sa 60-40 joint exploration dyan sa Recto Bank? Ano na nangyayari sa inyo dyan sa Department of Foreign Affairs? Hello? Wala akong yun Ang dapat na prioridad natin ngayon dahil ang misery, nagsimula tayo araw na ito sa misery index 12% na po, pangatlo since 1998. No? 1998, 2008, 2023. Ayan. Ano ang prioridad natin? Kung kayo ang Pangulo, mga kabansa, ano unahin niyo? Yung gera ng Amerika? Yung mga EDCA na yan? Yung mga aeroplanong umiikot-ikot dyan kung saan man kayo naroon doon sa siyam na lokasyon ng mga EDCA sites? O maghahanap tayo ng oportunidad with a friendly country like China para umusad itong ating ekonomiya? Saan pa tayo tatakbo sa agrikultura? Hindi tayo makatakbo sa Amerika. Saan tayo tatakbo? Pagdating sa trade, di naman dadagdagan ng mga yan ang trade natin as dramatically as 34% increase in our trade with China in just a matter of a year. Doon natin dalhin ang usapan. Kayo na nandyan sa Department of Trade, ha? Katulad ni Prasco sa Department of Tourism, kinakalampag ang Department of Foreign Affairs para dumami ang turista. O kayo dyan sa nagre-report kayo ngayon decline in foreign direct investments. Asa na ang mga pinagmamalaki ninyo? Mr. Pascual, ha? Asa na? Now, while we are taking all this, diniscuss din ho namin ni Secretary Paras during the week ang mga tremendous corruption that is happening all over the government. At dalawa ang aming na-picture dyan. Yung pong Philippine Port Authority, na nag-issue ng 9 million contract, pero 5 million lang ang babayaran. Saan pupunta yung 4 million? And then, itong masigasig nating commandant ng Philippine Coast Guard na si Artemio Abu. Commodore ka pa naman. Hindi pala Commodore. Sorry, sir. Admiral. Hey! Ay na-flag ng Commission on Audit dahil bumili ng isang bulletproof sports utility vehicle nung nakaraang taon for 8 million. 5 million ang Toyota Land Cruiser Prado in excess of regulations under 2018 Administrative Order 14. That all government vehicles are prohibited from acquiring and or using luxury vehicles for their operations. Hindi pa nagkasya doon, dinagdagan pa ng 3 milyon ang 5 milyon para i-convert na bulletproof. Wow! Admiral! Sino ba nag-hunting sa'yo? Pero medyo pag may nagreklamo sa'yo, tepo ka. Dahil reklusyon perpetual to. Bukod pa doon, mga kabansa, pinalakas ng PCG ang kanilang pagbabantay ng ating mga coastal areas. Because umorder din sila ng 31 brand new Isuzu MUX totaling 60 million. At meron na silang 459 service vehicles. So ewan ko kung saan nila gagawin itong mga land transportation vehicles nila ito. Ito ba ay para tugisin ang mga Chinese Coast Guard sa South China Seas? Nako, nabibilang na ang araw ng mga Chino. Ewan ko, ito ba lumulutang ba sa tubig itong Land Cruiser Prado na ito tsaka itong mga MUX na ito? And yet, pag tinignan nyo ang modernization, so-called AFP modernization, ang na-achieve nila to date is only 33%. 1/3 of their objective. So yan, mga kabansa, bago ako magpaalam, sasabihin ko lang sa inyo na marami pa kayong matututunan ukol sa mga issues na tinatalakay ng inyong ang maestro, kung kayo ay bibili sa pamamagitan ng online 0917-336-4366 ng aking libro. Ito po ang latest ko. It was published in September 2022, The Poverty of Power. Marami mga kalokohan na nangyari mula noong 1986 na nandito. The Poverty of Power. Ito po. Ulitin ko, ang telepono 0917-336-4366. Alas 2:30 na po. Ito po inyong lingkod, Ado Paglinawan, ang maestro na nag-deliver sa inyo ngayong araw na ito. Nag-deliver sa inyo ngayong araw na ito ng editorial para sa linggo dito po sa Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Thank you.
Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Sumainyo ang isa na namang edisyon ng Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Pinalakay ang mga nagbabagang issue tungkol sa galaw ng ating pamahalaan at ang epekto nito sa taong bayan. Laging abangan tuwing Lunes hanggang Biyernes, ganap na 1:30 hanggang alas 2:30 ng hapon. Pakinggan at panoorin natin ang programang Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Ipa-Rush Kay Paras. Mabilis umaksyon dito